All right. Good day, everyone. It is our pleasure to welcome you to our another episode of our study series, which has to do with capacity building of our members and those that are not our members who are just tech enthusiasts and who are also interested in getting to know more about technology. We normally have two series every weekend. We have technical know-how, that is techniques study series on Saturdays, which of 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. West Africa time, and on Sundays, every Sundays, until the end of day, we normally have soft skills, which has to do with what? Getting to know some other things that we need to know that can complement our technical skills. So this is the courtesy of Azure Community Nigeria. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this episode of Soft Skill, where we'll be looking at another very important issues that some people they don't take very serious, but for people that want to grow both technically and otherwise, they also take notes that okay, is important as their technical skills. And that topic of discussion is purposeful leadership for the digital age. Purposeful leadership for the digital age. We are so fortunate to have someone who is a Microsoft certified trainer, and on her own, she has built so many profiles in terms of technical know-how and soft skills, and that is why she's a best fit of this I want to have today. Her name is Joan Unachuku. Pleasure to welcome you on board, Joan Unachuku.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bubola.
Yeah, thank you. You are welcome. It's our pleasure to receive you today. A little bit about Joan Onachuku. Uh, Joan Onachuku is a Microsoft certified trainer and a motivated tech professional with experience in data technology, Microsoft Power Platform, core human capacity development, social entrepreneurship, and creativity. When she is not wearing a tech hat, she functions as a writer and professional voiceover artist for brands that aim to upscale globally. There's something I know about you which is not part of your profile. How about your cat and your dog? Is
They're
it something
awesome.
you
They're
like to do
amazing.
before
Yes.
you start your session?
Yes, yes, of course. I mean, since you have mentioned my the animal part of me, yes, I love not just animals, but I love plants as well. So I'm like a nature person. I love nature and I appreciate nature. I think preserving nature and sustaining nature is the reason why we are here today. So yes, my dog, Maki, and my cat, Kitana, is great. And my grandbabies are doing fine too.
And that's nice to know. So when I grow up, I would like to be like you, man, so that I can take care of the nature.
Thank
All right,
you.
so we'll be happy. So the floor is yours.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Our audience, please be
awesome.
attentive.
Okay,
It
you
is going
just,
to be
I'm going
awesome
to share it and you
and
just
very,
tell me
very
when.
educated. Okay, okay.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to
Um,
share and then you tell me when you can see my screen.
okay, I will do that.
Thank you. All right, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Okay, so I'm just going to reshare just to be sure. I think I'll have to share my entire screen so that I can just jump right in. Awesome. So I'm sure you can see my screen now. Once again, it's so great being invited here to speak on soft skills. Just as Mr. Popola had mentioned, in as much as you're a technical person, it's very important for you to also have the skills for you for maximum efficiency at work. Okay, so I mean that's why we're here today. And today I'm just going to be speaking about a very interesting topic, which is purposeful leadership in the digital age. However, um, I've actually given it like a first on first basis name, which I called stare. What does it mean to stare? So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to explore it, explore what staring is about, And yeah, but first, I would love to introduce myself to you so I can get to know a bit more about me.
Hello,
All
hello,
right.
John. Please,
Yes, I can.
can you hide the can you hide the notification down?
Awesome. Is
Okay,
it better
perfect.
now?
Thank you.
Awesome. So this is just a quick about me. I know Mr. Popola had talked about me already, but I just want to give you like a heads up and a rundown about me. So I'm a data and power platform developer. I'm also a tech community executive of DUG Lagos and some other executive for other communities as well. I'm a certified Microsoft trainer and I am certified in data analysis with Microsoft, of course. I'm also a consultant as well, so I consult and a voiceover artist. I mean, this is a part of me that I really, really love. Yes, so I utilize my voice to help brands grow their businesses. I'm a writer, I'm a creative, and lastly, I'm a dog and a cat mom, just as you mentioned. And yes, they are doing great. All right, so I have a quote I created. I mean, while I was working on this slide, I was just thinking, about being a leader and the times I've been able to hold leadership positions, how I've been able to deal with it. And what just came to my mind was this: leader, you learn, you lead, you manage, and you repeat. So it goes round. You learn, you lead, you manage, and then you repeat. So quickly, this is just a picture of me and my dog. Yes, his name is Maki. You can spot his amazing bow tie. Yeah. All right. So this is our agenda for today. We're going to be exploring leadership. We're going to get to see various types of leadership. We're going to talk about stare. What is stare? What is it about? What's that word stare? What does it? What does it? When you hear the word stare, what comes to you? And then also we'll talk about the purposeful leader. And then, of course, since we are a tech-based community, which I'm really happy about, we're going to be talking about our industry, which is the Industry 4.0. Okay, yes. And also, I'll be talking about how to lead tech enabled teams and also how to integrate AI and leadership. And lastly, I'm going to be talking about the JU Leadership Circle. All right. So, what do you see here? I mean, this is an image we have here of a woman in front and her colleagues behind. Okay, it could also be a man as well. I just decided to use this image, and I must add this image is AI generated or was AI generated. So yes, so you can see that she stands in front, and you can also see the network, like neural networks across her, meaning she leads, but she doesn't just lead, but she leads with a technology mindset. So, as technical people, what do we think about? As a leader, what do you think about? When you say, okay, hi, I'm leading a team, what does that really mean to you? And this is why we're going to be exploring leadership. So the word lead actually means to direct, to guide, and to influence. Leadership is the ability to guide, to influence, and motivate people to achieve a common goal. Usually at work, when you go to work every morning, whether you're working remotely or you're working in person or in office, I mean, in person as well, yes. When you go into the office, what is the mindset you take going there? Do you just say, hey, I just want to work and make some money? Or do you say, I want to make an impact? So whether you're an employee, you're intending to assume a managerial role, or you actually already assuming a managerial role currently, or you're a leader or a founder, this should be a core part of your professional journey. Leadership, purposeful leadership. And that takes me to the next slide. We're just going to quickly talk about leadership and the leadership styles we have. You know, um, you can see my screen here, and you can see there are actually various types of leadership styles, but these are the ones that resonated with me. And this is, I mean, what we usually see in organizations is usually this. So that's why I actually picked out this four. We have the autocratic, we have the democratic, we have the laissez-faire, and the transformational leaders. So what does it mean to be an autocratic leader? You're independent, you're imposing, total authority. Nobody can actually give an opinion. There's no think tank in your company. Everything is yeah and amen. If you say something, hey, I need you to do this task, you expect that it must be done the exact way, or are you open to change? Do you are you a stringent leader? Do you have stringent rules and regulations? And do you think of not even having any input from any of your colleagues, or even having input from just anybody at all, or even fellow managers as you? So it depends on the scenario you're in the workspace, the kind of person, whether you're an employee, whether you're a founder, whether you're a manager, all these leadership styles actually resonate with who you are. So are you an autocratic leader? Are you a democratic leader who thinks about inclusion, including everybody, and saying, hey, let's see what you have here. Or we can say, hey, that's why there's a voting box there. Maybe the top, like, I mean, if you say how many people, how many of us will agree to having Microsoft license software in our office? You say, okay, let's run a vote on that. Are you that kind of leader? Do you believe in teamwork, working together to achieve a common goal quickly? Do you believe in collaboration as well? That's what a democratic leadership is about. And then for laissez-faire, it's about minimal collaboration. So in the laissez-faire leadership styles, it's expected that everyone should be an expert. And personally, I think the disadvantage of this particular type of leadership style is that there is no room for improvement. There is no room for even people with fresh ideas to come in. There is no room for even people that want to intern to come in. Because remember what we talked about. You learn, yeah? After you learn, what do? You manage, you lead, and then you repeat. So with the laissez-faire, we have minimal collaboration, we have no leadership, we have no managerial support. And the reason why I really talk about, of course, the leadership, this particular leadership style is that it decreases productivity, just like the autocratic leadership style as well. Or are you a transformational leader? This is the leadership style I love. A transformational leader actually inspires, a transformational leader motivates, a transformational leader innovates, a transformational leader adapts to the trends, to the technology, to what is going on. A transformational leader is actually very supportive. If you fail, because I mean, people are bound to make mistakes even at work. Are you going to just put your workers down there, your colleagues down there, and say, hey, you failed. You're not good for the company? Or are you going to support them? Are you going to allow them fail fast? Because there's a great thing about failing fast. When you fail fast, you achieve more. So you fail fast, you move on, and make sure that the next time you're moving on, you're trying to make sure that that task is done efficiently and effectively. And also, are you a sustainable leader? Being a transformational leader means you are sustainable. You believe in sustainability. You don't believe in waste. Yeah. So this is an image of an organization. I want you to imagine yourself. I mean, in your office, you can see that there are different people here. Some of them are working. Some of them are just having discussions, talking about a task they need to have, about a task they're undertaking, a task assigned to them, right? And this brings me to the next topic we're going to be talking about. But first, I want you to just look at this image. There are three images here, yes. And funny enough, I don't know, but for some reason, they're all women. Next time I'll remember to, of course, blend it up a bit. But you can see in the first image that this is a professional working lady and she's driving a car. She's steering it. She's holding a steering wheel and she's driving the car according to how she wants the car to move. She's driving with tact. She's driving with skill. Okay. And in the next image, we can see three women, of course, who are also work colleagues. They're working, they're collaborating. And if you notice in the picture, you can see the AI, you can see that there's an AI, like a hologram around them. And this is a total type of leadership. And that's why I tell people you don't have to wait until you're a manager first before you think you're a leader. Even as an employee, you are a leader in your own right. Why do I say that? Because even as an employee, even whether you're a subordinate in an organizational structure, you should understand that you have the opportunity to innovate, to create, and to climb the ladder. And the next one, of course, is an image of a lady speaking. She's in an AI conference and she's just speaking. Let's say, for instance, she's talking to, I mean, Azure Nigeria community members, just like I'm doing now. She's speaking about improvement, speaking about human capacity development, understanding that there's a blend of technology and there's a blend of soft skills too. And that brings us to our next topic, which is stare. So, what does it mean to stare? It means to guide or to direct. The purpose of leadership transcends beyond control, okay? But to guide and transform. So, whether you're driving a car or you're steering a ship, you first need a steering wheel, and then you need your skill to move you in the right direction. So, as a professional, as an Azure professional, you should understand that the steering wheel you have now are your resources. So, whatever resources you have now, they're your steering wheel. And the next thing you should know is that these resources sometimes it can seem limited and scarce, but you have to. The reason why we innovate is because we have scarce resources. The reason why we have newer phones, newer gadgets, newer software updates is because there's a needs gap. There's something that we need to develop. There's something that we need to make sure that we work efficiently. And so, as a leader, how do you steer? By learning. And after learning, what do? You put that knowledge into practice. You think of more efficient ways to solve your problems quickly. And also, you need to uphold the transformational value at every career phase. So, as a manager, how can you be transformational? As an employee, how can you be transformational? As an intern, how can you be transformational? As a founder, how can you be transformational? So it cuts across every career phase. And how do you do that? By executing every assigned task you have with a mindset that you need to improve on the already set standards in that organization. I want you to view your organizational goals as a collective effort. If you're in a company and everybody says, hey, I just want to work on my own, I just want to do my own, whether you're expert, let's assume you're experts and you're all working on your own. Okay, that's fine. But do you know that collaboration can actually make sure that you achieve the organizational goal faster? Yes, it does. Even with collaboration and innovation, your colleague who is probably in another department can actually tell you and give you a very faster way and a smarter way. Remember our SMART goals, give you a smarter way to actually achieve a goal. And so we're just going to be talking about what it is to be a purposeful leader. Personally, I see a purposeful leader as being a visionary. I know usually when we talk about visionaries, we think visionaries are just founders. I will still reiterate again, everyone in an organization, everyone in a community is a visionary. So with Azure Nigeria community right now, as an organization, yes, as a people, as a community, we are all visionaries. Why? Because first, we learn, we collaborate. We are here today, we are learning. Tomorrow, I'm going to meet someone else in the Azure community, and then we just, get together and say, hey, what is this? The purpose is that we need to improve on ourselves in our respective workplaces. So, what does it mean to be a purposeful leader? First, you have to be transformational. And being transformational means you have to be positive, meaning you think positively through every task, through every obstacle, through every challenge, through every target. You have to be collaborative when working with other people. I mean, I know that no one is a harbinger of knowledge. No one knows everything. So it's important to collaborate. When you collaborate, you find better ways to do things. I mean, we just had something recently, a data sphere at Ibadan recently, and of course, I met Mr. Popel as well. But I remember the collaborational effort between everybody, amongst everyone, and that event was a success. Even with loopholes and everything, you won't even notice your loopholes because everybody was on their toes. Everybody was working together. Communication was efficient and effective. Also, as a purposeful leader, you need to be emotionally intelligent. I cannot overemphasize on this. I mean, I have a course where I talk about workplace communication, effective workplace communication, and I talk about emotional intelligence, understanding that the workplace is also an extension of who you are. So, being a transformational leader also means you are a driving force. You're a driving force in making sure that goals are achieved. And of course, sustainability is the last. I always like to put in sustainability because if you're doing anything at all, even in life, even at home, and you don't think of sustainability, you only think of wastage, it will be very hard. First, it's not even going to be cost efficient or cost effective for the company. You're going to run into losses, you know, even declare a company bankrupt. It could go get onto that level. And I mean, thank God for technology. Now we have like newer ways to do things, to store items, to store objects, to integrate things and neural networks together. I mean, that's why we have the Internet of Things. So that's part of sustainability as well. And we have a clean and greener environment. And as a purposeful leader, you need to be in tune with the industry, meaning you have to understand the industry requirements. So let's assume you are a tech salesperson for a software company. Do you understand the requirements for that industry? If you want to sell a product to stakeholders, how do you approach that? Of course, you need to identify the needs gap that they have there. You know, how do you even identify the kind of stakeholders you need to have? That is why you have to do your market analysis. We have it there on the screen. Market analysis is very important. And then, of course, you identify the gaps, understand the stakeholder market. Another thing a purposeful leader does is that a purposeful leader embraces technology. We are in a different industry, and this industry requires that you have to, no matter what, whether you're a business person, you're a salesperson, you have a product business, or you're a software developer, you develop apps, websites, you need to understand that technology is important. And so you need to be updating yourself. There should be more tech updates. What is the new? What's going on the new? When we have these events at Microsoft, what's going on? What's the next new thing Microsoft is releasing? Right now we have co-pilots, and everyone is talking about co-pilots. We're working with co-pilots. Some people are scared and saying, I always get at it, oh, AI is going to take our jobs. And I say, hey, I think what you should do is just understand AI, understand on how to update yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're going to tell AI what to do. No matter how intelligent AI is going to be, there's going to still be a human part that makes it real. So you need to just keep yourself updated. Yes, and that brings me to AI collaboration. That's what I just talked about now. And also, you should have a developer mindset. When posed with a task, you should always ask yourself, how can I make this better? How can I improve on this? What app can I create to solve this problem in at work? What kind of app? What should I create to actually just solve a problem in the society? That's having a developer mindset. I'm having a presentation soon with stakeholders. I need to talk about A, B, and C. How can I make it better? And also, a purposeful leader embraces business tools, the use of business tools in your business. A purposeful leader should be creative. You should be a creator. That's also part of having a developer mindset. You should be a contributor as well. Just like what we're doing here, just like what the Azure Nigeria community is doing here and the Azure community generally. Even MCTs around the world. So many people, communities generally are doing great things. They're contributors. Having to speak to everyone here today, which is of course is an honor, is part of me contributing to the society, part of me contributing to the workplace, part of me contributing to the Azure community. And also you need to be a catalyst. Now we have this very beautiful image in front of us here. And I don't know what this means to you or what this looks like to you. But to me, I see a future where digitally we have gone beyond what the human mind can even imagine. You know, I mean, it could just be anything. It could even be a building. You're just in there and you're working. Things are happening. You can have an industry or something, even an organization in Mars. It's possible. Talking about space travels, a lot of things. I mean, I can't even. It's beyond what the mind can imagine. But every day, as far as we're human, we have the opportunity to create. We have the opportunity to be a catalyst. We have the opportunity to collaborate with AI to do great and big things. So yeah, so whenever you're at work, whenever you're working, whenever you're doing learning, always remember that you are a huge contributor to the world. You are a huge contributor to your organization. You are a huge contributor to not just your personal goals, but also to the goals of the greater good. And this brings me to talk about Industry 4.0. What is Industry 4.0? I mean, initially, long time, I mean, before we had the pre-industrial, there are different industrial eras, of course. We've had the pre-industrial eras, and everything where we started from manually raising crops, and then we had the mechanized farming, and then it streamed down into agro mechanization, of course. We talk about globalization that started, and then it went down again into communication. We started having phones, even if it's the old way of fax machines. Yeah, I remember I used to have fax machines then. The ways of communication, and currently we are in the industry 4.0, which we need to be aware of. A lot of us are saying, "Hey, I'm speaking to new techies now. Say, hey, I want to be a part of tech. I want to be a part of tech. In as much as you want to be a part of tech, you need to understand the industry that you are getting into and how important it is in shaping your professional career moving forward. And so, over centuries, the world has faced the emergence of various industries that have systematically grew into our current industry, which is the Industry 4.0. And the futures of this 4.0 are three things: digitalization, automation, and the Internet of Things. So, what does digitalization mean? It means sustainable methods of production and storage. I mean, before, when during the mechanized farming days, what we would do, we get plants and everything, we store them in silos, or let me use an actual office scenario. Then we do a lot of paperwork. Everything is paper. You have to do your accounting with books, actual paper books, but now it's different. We have software to do that, various software. And with Microsoft, thank God for Microsoft Dynamics 365, we have various software you can use to do that. Right now, HR can literally put any information they need. Salespeople can actually use the CRM tools to work, business applications. You can create an app where you can just store everything on the go. People can actually use that app and say, okay, hey, I just want to, for example, I want to borrow a book. Let's know who borrowed the book from this so and so library, and you just click on it and that was it. And you know who borrowed the book at what time, when it's meant to be returned, how much was being paid. You know your inventory through that. And we also have the automation part, which is using the use of technology to perform repetitive tasks. So that instead of going back and forth with automation, you can predict. We use it in data, we use it in the Power BI. And then we have the Internet of Things, IoT. Everyone talks about hey, it's great that we have phones now. It's great that we can, just at the click of a button, we can make video calls and everything. But how is that done? It's done through neural network connection to physical devices. And this is how amazing our industry is. And there's so many opportunities to key into this industry and do great things. So, as a leader, I would ask this question: how can you lead tech enabled teams? As a leader, how can you build tech enabled teams? So, the attributes are safety first. You have to create a safe space. As a leader, you need to create a safe space. So if you're not a manager, let's assume you're not a founder or a manager and you're just an employee, as far as you have other colleagues with you, please provide a safe space. And if you are just a one man business starting up, provide a safe space for even the people you meet, for even your service providers. So provide the safe space for your stakeholders when you go to meet them. So you as a purposeful leader should provide a safe space for people to thrive, whether remotely or in office. If you work remotely, how do you provide a safe space for those working remotely? You think about their time. So, assuming you have a colleague that is working in, for example, Canada, and you're working in Nigeria, you work with the time. You understand the time the person is meant to be awake to work, and you make sure that within that time space, both of you have achieved something good for the day. And in office, oh, awesome. I mean, that's where you have to meet each other. So it's important that you provide a safe space. You be an active listener. You're emotionally intelligent enough to understand what is going on with each person. You read body languages. Okay. And the next thing we can also do, I mean, as a purposeful leader, is to utilize digital collaboration tools. Use them for streamlined communication and improved efficiency. In Microsoft, we have Teams, we have SharePoint, we have Power Apps. We have different collaboration tools there. So if you're working in an organization currently and you don't have a collaboration tool, I think this is the best time to speak to your manager. And if you're a manager or a founder, then I think this is the best time to start adopting using digital collaboration tools, because we are almost going way past that. There's something going to be great. There's even greater stuff in the future waiting for us. So please adopt that in your business and watch your business grow, watch your organization grow. And also, it's important to adopt agile methodology. I think this is the part where project managers come in. And I mean, that's why I love, respect, and appreciate project managers, because they see a goal, it's being talked about, outline it, and there are frequent daily check ins to know how that goal is going, and also to make sure that they don't veer off the tangent. Okay, so you need agile methodology to outline expected goals and observe them until fruition. Fruition means achieving that goal until you have achieved that goal. So as a project manager, how do you work? Do you follow the standards, the set standards? Do you look for room for improvement? Are you innovative? You need to be agile. Okay? Do you do frequent check-ins on your colleagues, on people that are working on a particular goal? Making sure that you're going to achieve that without veering off the tangent. And also, this is a part of continuous learning. So we have so many free tech channels and communities. I mean, Azure Nigeria community is one of them. So being here is an opportunity for you to learn and grow. Mr. Pola talked about having a session for the technical part and also having a session for productivity and soft skill part of it. So yes, that is part of continuous learning. We're updating our knowledge. We're getting to understand how best to be like valuable to our organizations. So yes, always evolve with the ever evolving tech landscapes. There's so many conferences. I mean, even with Microsoft, we have different conferences, Microsoft Dynamics Con event. There's just so many events going on. Always try to get yourself to Register for that and attend them. They're very important because you get to meet people, you get to network, you know, you get to even grow your career space. With that, you can get a better job, you can get something good for yourself, and you can also be a contributor as well. So while you're learning, you're also contributing. I am learning, I never stop learning. Every day, I have to just learn something, no matter how small it is. And that brings us to the next part of it, which is integrating AI and leadership. So as you can see, I mean, this is like just a diagram, you know, showing AI and leadership, AI on the left and leadership on the right, and you in the middle. So as a leader, as a tech leader, you have to integrate AI into leadership and the other way, and vice versa. Put leadership and AI together. You have to be a purposeful leader, of course, which requires the skill of balancing our current industry, which is Industry 4.0, and leadership. You have to efficiently put AI to great use, develop more advanced techniques to achieving organizational goals. That's what it's about. As a leader now, all you should think about is how can I make things better? Of course, that's what leadership is about. Leadership is not just about controlling. Remember, we talked about it's about guiding and directing. In fact, a lot of times leadership is about service. I like to see that too. So it's about service too. So as a leader, you want to make sure that things are or goals are achieved faster, tasks are achieved faster. And the best way to do that, of course, is to be in tune with the industry. The best way to do that is to adopt AI, make things faster. Your staff should be properly trained. If you're a manager, you're a founder, your CEO, a business owner, staff should be properly trained. Know how to use the latest software that your company is using currently. Make sure they have courses online. That way they get trainings. Make sure you could even travel to get trainings. I know there's an oil and gas conference that's going to happen very soon in the United States. Yes. And a lot of companies are making sure that their staff from all across the world are attending that. I mean, I don't think they just want to spend a lot of money. No, that's not the idea. The idea is that they want their staff to be well informed. They want their staff to network. They want their staff to understand that the world is big and you can achieve anything. They want their staff to meet other stakeholders doing similar businesses as well. They want to also break into certain newer markets. So, yes, that's part of it. You should always make sure that you should integrate leadership and AI together. And that brings me to the JU leadership cycle. I don't know, you might be thinking, oh, what's JU? JU. It's actually my name, funny enough. So, while thinking about this topic and using my experience of over 10 years at work, I thought about it and I said, Joan, how have you thrived as a leader? I think about learning because that never stops. I mean, that's why we have it up there. So I always think about learning. And when you learn, then you lead. They work hand in hand. So even while leading, you're learning. And you can see the light bulb up there. Meaning for everything you learn, there's always a light bulb moment for you. Meaning you've gotten something new. And when you learn, you innovate. And it makes leadership better when you're a very innovative leader. Remember what we talked about when we talked about the purposeful leader. And then you manage better. You can see the icon there excuse me, of a leader and people underneath, meaning you manage better. You're a leader that is transformational. So you're a blend of democracy, you're a blend of transformational. Great. You're not autocratic. If people cannot even talk, or people can say, hey, this is what I think, or you're not even a leader or if you're not a leader that even thinks about having a think tank. Many organizations don't have think tanks, and think tanks are very important. So do you adopt think tanking? Sounds like a tongue twister, but yeah. So how do you manage? So you have to learn, you have to lead, of course, and then you manage, and then you repeat. So you can see the recycle there. So there is a repetitive action where you have to learn, lead, manage, repeat. Learn, lead, manage, repeat. It's sustainable over time. And so while you're doing that, you're also training other people to be better leaders as well, because people are going to get promoted. So are you an intern? You should learn, you should lead, you should manage, you repeat. Are you a manager? You should learn, you should lead, you should manage, and repeat. Are you a founder? Oh my goodness, you should learn, you should lead, you should manage, and you should repeat. So you repeat the process, and that's what makes it sustainable. Yes. All right. So I am just let's explore this. This is a company-wide global use of AI by the National University of San Diego. They actually, this is statistics they have. They said 35% of companies globally use AI currently, and just 77% actually are exploring AI, are still exploring AI for business. So we can see that we have a small number of companies globally using AI. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it in this digital age? Utilizing Industry 4.0, of course, which is the digital age. How can you utilize AI in your business? How can you utilize software in your business? How can you collaborate with AI in your business? How can you collaborate with AI at work? How can you collaborate with AI with your colleagues? How can you all collaborate with AI to make sure that you work smarter? Remember our SMART goals. So yes, I think this brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much, everyone. It's such an honor to be here today. I'm actually open for questions. So if you have any questions, please kindly ask. Hello, Mr. People, are you there? Hello, hello. All right. So I'll just quickly,
Yes, I
yeah.
can hear you very
So this
clearly.
is my profile. Let's connect. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, yes. I was asking if there's gonna be question time or if I could just keep going.
Yes, definitely there'll be question time, and as at the moment, no question yet. No question yet. Um, I want to
Okay.
strongly believe that people enjoy your session. You have some minutes more if you have
Thank
anything
you.
to add. Yeah.
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Okay, so
So
before
I,
I
I
add anything, I would just I mean this is
I will go to the background again so that you can take up the session. Thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So let's connect. Yes, you can find me on LinkedIn, Joan Onachuku. So my name is pronounced Joan, Joan Onachuku. So yes, let's connect there. And this is my email as well, just jonachuku@outlook.com. Send me an email. If you need to collaborate with me, send me an email. If you need me to train your company on soft skills or even technical skills to like Power BI, Power Apps, a couple of, just reach out to me, of course. And I have a blog as well, which is jonachuku@medium.com, where I just put in my thoughts and what I think about anything relating to data, AI, and workplace improvements. Yes, so I think that marks the end. But we just quickly would go back and talk about leadership and what kind of leader you are. So I think it's important. I mean, I think tomorrow is going to be Easter Monday, right? But I mean, when you get to begin work this week, I'll just say, what mindset are you taking to work? If you're working remotely, what mindset are you taking to work? How do you think of work? Do you think of work as something that you're just like, oh my God, I'm just using this to get by? Or do you tell yourself, hey, Joan, I'm a transformational person, I'm a transformational leader? When I wake up in the morning, What I think about is how to make the world better in my own little way. And with my little way, if you put it, it's just like say little drops of water makes a mighty ocean, right? And with every little and simple task you do, whether complicated or simple you do, it's taking you somewhere, you know, you're actually improving. So that's what it's about. So what do you think about when you go to work? Are you encouraging to your colleagues? As a leader, are you approachable? I think that's very important. It's a very important thing to talk about. There's a place of respect and hierarchy, of course, that cannot be denied. But are you also approachable? Because trust me, if you're approachable, then I'm sure you're going to have a company or an organization that is going to innovate and do big things. So that is being a leader and a founder or a CEO. As a CEO, are you up to date with what is happening in the current industry? As a business owner, are you up to date with what is happening in the industry? What tools, collaboration tools do you use to work? Do you even utilize social media? Because that's another thing. Social media is not just for taking pictures and looking good. Social media is actually for impact and value. So, as a leader or having an organization, do you have social media handles on LinkedIn, Instagram to be a driving force? Are you a driving force? Because it's one thing to do big things, another thing for people to know you're doing big things, and social media is the tool for that. So, it's great that you use social media positively. And that's what it involves being a purposeful leader in the digital age. It means you're aware. When someone says, hey, I'm doing this on purpose, it means I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm aware that I have to create value. I'm aware that I have to make impact. I'm aware that everyone around me has to grow. I'm aware that I should be emotionally intelligent. I'm aware that I shouldn't put down other people. I'm aware that even if I fail, I should fail fast. I'm aware that when I win, I should win fast and move on to the next, make sure I get the next win. Okay, so it's unending to what you can do, what you can think about when you wake up early in the morning during your, I mean, before you get up, even while getting ready for work. What do you think about? Clearing up your mind space, creating a space where you know that you want to think about better, innovative things. In fact, sometimes I'll just give an experience. This is my own experience. I could just be getting ready for bed. I would just need to sleep. And once my head hit the pillow, a thought just comes. Hey, Joan, I think you should write about this. Hey, Joan, I think you should talk about this. I think you should adopt this next time you're trying to solve this business problem. And I just bring out a book and I always have a, a book and a pen scribbled just by my corner of my bed. So I just pick it up and I write it down. And then I go to bed. So do you document? Are you creating a sustainable business? If you're a business owner, are you creating a sustainable business? Are you creating a business that has a space for succession? If you're not here anymore, are you creating that kind of business? So these are things to actually ponder about. Now, as a tech person, okay, I can see my time. I think I have 10 minutes more, so I'll just still speak. As a tech enthusiast, are you in tune with the current updates of what's happening in the industry? You know, have you learned on how to use Copilot properly, to utilize Copilot properly to create what you want? I mean, the images I have here are literally AI generated, you know. So how can I even train AI to give me what exactly I want? How can I train AI positively? You know, and I think I would also this is a part of me to talk. So in as much as we are meant to collaborate with AI, we should also know that for everything that is great, there's also, you know, a disadvantage of it, meaning it can be utilized for negative, it can have negative effects. So, what measures have I put in place as a founder, as a leader, as a worker in a company to make sure that data is not stolen. And this is where cybersecurity comes in. Very important. And even with cybersecurity, you're still going to have to work with tech. You're still going to have to work with AI. Are you ethical while at work? Do you use technology ethically? You know, just so many things we need to know. So many things we need to learn. Maybe in other, if I'm called to speak for other sessions, I would touch on some of these things. We would explore it. Yeah. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Once again, I'm introducing myself again. I'm Jonona Chuku, and I love tech and I love creativity. I love a blend of both of them. I cannot keep one away from the other. It's always enmeshed together. So once again, I'm open to collaborating with you. I'm open to having to come to train your staff. Okay. So thank you once again. Mr. Popola, you have the floor. Hello, Mr. Popola. Hello, sir.
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
So
okay,
I'm actually done. Are there questions,
okay.
ma'am? Yes.
No questions, no questions yet. Which
Okay, that's
means
awesome.
which means
Okay.
the audience they are satisfied with your presentation.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you so much. Of issues about leadership, about
Thank you.
technology, and about how we can
Thank you.
integrate fields of life, leadership, technology, for the best of what we do, and but for the best of humanity. I'm very sure that
Yeah.
people that attended this section and people that will be having privilege to the recorded sessions, they will also find it very useful how they can become a better person. As everybody is climbing the ladder, we are also looking about how we can impact people along the way. Are we becoming autocratic? Are we becoming democratic? On which type of leadership are we doing in our at our various workplaces? So that if we check
Yeah.
ourselves very well, so we should be able to know which impact we are making within our team. Thank you so much for
Okay.
honoring us of this invitation. And by next time when we call on you, we'll be happy to also receive you for another discussion. So thank you so much. And I want to
Thank
wish
you.
you
Thank you,
Easter
sir.
season celebration.
Yeah, so happy Easter to everyone. Have
Yeah,
an
thank you so
amazing
much.
celebration. Thank you.
All right. All right. So, dear viewers, thank you for joining us for this section. Next week, Saturday, will be another episode for technical section. And by next week, Sunday, we'll be having another episode of soft skill training section. I want to thank you for being part of this. And let us do it again and again. Happy Easter. Goodbye. Bye bye.
Happy Easter, everyone.